One of the toughest mission fields in the entire world is France. Missionaries are viewed with suspicion, and some evangelical churches have been branded as cults. But one missionary has found the secret to reaching the French heart, and he does it using American popular culture. Dale Hurd has his inspiring story from Paris.
Many Anglo-Saxons make a mistake about the French. They think that they're romantic and terribly spontaneous and very sensitive and very expressive, but that's not the French at all. That's the Italians. The French are intellectual, they are rationalistic, they are distant. They will keep a lot of things bottled up inside and think about it.
His voice is unmistakably Aussie, but Pastor Vince Esterman is of French blood, the son of French immigrants to Australia. He came to France as a missionary 17 years ago. In that time, he's planted 30 churches and is author of the book Miracle Conversions. He quickly learned when he got to France that reaching the French heart would require a French approach.
In coming to France, I realized that there was such a tremendous resentment towards church and religion in the minds of the people. To reach them, I would need to have an approach that would be disarming, and to turn it into something that is light-hearted, that is humorous. And so I began to develop a work on the streets. I would look for ways that are irresistible to the French, to penetrate into the secular mindset. I would draw the face of Mickey Mouse, and I would entitle the message, Made in America. And so I would turn around to my public and with special fancy letters that are very striking, I would say, now I think you recognize this face. It's the most famous mouse in all the world. It's Mickey Mouse. So everybody recognizes Mickey Mouse. And I say, well, I'm going to tell you a story about Mickey, but not Mickey Mouse, Mickey who's just a young person. And he's an American young person, but he could be a French young person. And Mickey, when he's hungry, where does he go? Well, he goes to McDonald's. Whether it be in America or in France, he goes to McDonald's. And when he's thirsty, what does he drink? Well, he drinks Coke, because all young people drink Coca-Cola. And in the morning when he gets up, he just dresses himself the same way every day. He puts on his jeans. And so I would write these key words up: McDonald's, Coke, jeans. See, these are words that the French understand and know, because it's the American culture that's been imported into France. And I'd say, and like all young Americans, he has a girlfriend. And every Saturday night with his girlfriend, they go to the films, they go to the cinema. And I say, but the problem is, if you only know Mickey at that level, you don't really understand what he's like. Because there's another side of Mickey that really is the side you need to know. And to understand who he is, you have to ask him what music he likes. And so let's ask him, say, Mickey, what music do you like? And he says, well, what I really like is gospel music. He says, gospel music? Now that's unusual. I would have thought you would have said techno or reggae. And you like gospel music, but gospel music speaks about God. And he says, that's right. I say, but Mickey, do you believe in God? And he says, yes, I do. Well, that's amazing. A young person, a normal young person who eats at McDonald's, drinks Coca-Cola, wears jeans, has a girlfriend, goes to Hollywood, he believes in God. Has it always been like that? He said, no. Well, when did it all begin? Well, it began one day when God touched my heart. And then it all changed. And I began to realize that he loved me.
Afterwards, significant numbers of Parisians eagerly take Christian literature. It's an amazing sight, considering France's reputation for being closed to the gospel. Esterman has preached to an estimated 50,000 people on the streets of Paris.
And they are opening up to the love of Jesus in the most wonderful way. And it was all because one day he walked past a man with a sketchboard telling stories in the Sorbonne area, and it just touched his heart. I do believe that the French can be reached with the gospel if we only understand the way into their hearts.
Dale Hurd, CBN News, Paris.
Pastor Esterman spends most of his time overseeing the churches he's planted in France, but he still spends up to 5 hours a week on the streets of Paris telling stories with a sketchboard.
Hi, I'm Pastor Eugene Bogner. Welcome to the Bethlehem Experience 2004, right here on the Gold Coast. This year, almost 9,000 people have come through the city gates. The Bethlehem Experience is an interactive tour guided by a shepherd, and groups of 25 to 30 people go through the city. And when they come out, they came across an evangelist, Vincent Esterman, a storyteller, with his sketchboard, and this is what they saw.
All right, folks, this is one of the stories that you have perhaps read about, and so we're going to put a title on this story, and we're going to call it Give Me a Smile. Have a look at this. Can you read me? Give me a smile. This is the story of a man who had trouble smiling. He's called Zacchaeus. And when Jesus found him, he found him up in a tree. That's right. Why was he in a tree? Because he wanted to see Jesus from a distance. And he was a small man, so he climbed a tree. And up in a tree, this is the kind of frown that he had on his face. And so you can say, well, a man who looks like that must be obviously unhappy. And so we say, well, let's try and understand why he's so unhappy. And so we say, well, Zacchaeus, have you maybe lost your job? And he says, well, no, I've got a very good job, as a matter of fact, so that's not the problem. Okay, well, maybe you've had a problem with your financing of your home, and you've lost your home, it's been repossessed. And he says, no, that's not the problem either. I've got a very nice home, thank you very much. Okay, but let's try and be sensitive, because a man in a tree that looks like that, there's got to be a problem somewhere. And so we say, well, maybe your wife has gone off and left you. Is that the problem? No, she loves me, and she's there every time I get home from work. Okay, well, let's just complete it then. And maybe the kids have gone off into drugs or something. Hey, listen, Zacchaeus, are you up in that tree with a frown because your kids have gone? And he says, no, my kids are well behaved and we're a very good family. And you say, well, come on now, why are you in a tree and why are you looking like that? Well, perhaps you've lost your health. Perhaps you've got health problems. Is that the problem, Zacchaeus? He says, no, that's not the problem either. Well, we say, well, at least one thing we can say, even if you've got all those things that should make you happy, the one thing that you don't have is joy. I mean, that is just so obvious looking at his face. So obvious, he's got no joy. And why doesn't he have any joy? Well, the reason is obvious as well. Because he's lost his faith. He's lost his faith in people. He's lost his faith in God. He's lost his faith in himself. And you know, when you lose your faith, you lose your smile. And you lose your confidence. And you lose your joy. But fortunately, Jesus goes under his tree. And he looks up and he says, Zacchaeus, trees are not for men. Trees are for apes. What are you doing up there, Zacchaeus? And he says, come down out of your tree. You know, I think many of us are up in our trees, holding onto branches with a frown on our face. And Jesus comes under our tree and he invites us. He asks us to come down. Do you know what he said to Zacchaeus that day? He said, Zacchaeus, come down from that tree because today, that's an important day for Jesus. Today, he says, today I want to stay in your house. You know, that's the secret of finding your joy again. It's coming down out of your tree, whatever that tree might be. That tree that's caused you to be distant, caused you to lose your faith, caused you to lose your confidence and your trust in God. Come down out of that tree tonight, because today Jesus wants to come and stay in your place. All you have to do is open the door. You open the door of your life and heart, and Jesus will come in. And when he comes in, you'll find that faith will come back. You'll find that joy will come back. And you'll find that the smile will come back to your face, because you've come down out of the tree and you've let Jesus into your life. Well, I just hope that you've enjoyed the Bethlehem experience tonight. The whole point of Bethlehem experience is to help us understand that Jesus is passing under our tree. And if we only open the door of our lives, he will come in and the joy will come back. Thanks, folks, for being such a good and a smiling audience. And I want to wish you a very happy Christmas and especially a very happy life. God bless you.